Alright, so hey, Journalism 380. My name is Joshua Banks. This is Andrea. Today we're going to discuss a couple questions regarding the race, media, and how you view and intersect and dissect media, okay?
Okay.
Alright, so you want to introduce yourself?
Hello everyone, my name is Andrea Montalbano and I'm currently a master's student here at Central.
Alright, so growing up, what type of community or area did you grow up in?
So I'm from Downriver in Southgate, Michigan particularly, and that's like mostly a mix of like lower to upper middle class citizens. And it was really like a culturally enriched area, so there was a bunch of different races growing up is what I can remember and going to school with.
So growing up, did you have friends from different genders, races, and creeds and religions?
Yeah, I would say for the most part it was definitely pretty mixed in terms of all that.
Okay. And I remember we spoke earlier. You said that you and your dad growing up. You and your dad would watch the news. Do you remember what news station you would watch?
So mostly it was ABC, but it was also NBC. But for the most part, we would just like look up news or watch news on the TV, and it was ABC.
Okay. And so, if you can recall, well, the majority of reporters, male or female, black or white, can you describe them?
I would say for the most part, thinking back, it was quite mixed, but I would say there's probably more white males though.
White male.
Yeah.
Okay, so as in today's media, do you see a change in that population, or is it still dominated by white males?
I would say in today's society, it's definitely changing and definitely altered from what I can like reference. But I think it would also definitely depend on like the news source that you're watching. Yeah.
Okay, so where do you get your news from?
So mostly now, rather than like watching the news, I would say I get it from like internet sources or like word of mouth and hearing.
Internet sources?
Yeah.
So are your internet sources, who is the one reporting the news?
I know like for the most part, sometimes either it'll be like social media, which I know obviously isn't the most reputable source, or I would say like sometimes I'll look at like NPR. And stuff like that, yeah.
Okay, and I'm sorry to be too specific. Do you know if the writer or the person that's writing a news story or blog, is that a male or female that you usually get your news from?
Thinking about it, I really couldn't say too much on like the specific authors now, just because I guess it's not really prevalent in like websites. They don't really like when you watch the news. Obviously, you know who is giving it off, but I'm not too sure like in the website sources.
Okay. Well, if you did not know, majority of news is giving to that's reported by white males, and then that if women are promoting or giving news, is considered soft news. So soft news will be considered stuff more about education, health, fashion, and hair and beauty, and hard news will be stuff considered like politics, governments. And financial stuff, and that would be a lot of times given by males. Did you know that? Did you ever notice that?
Yeah, well, I could definitely see like thinking back and seeing that now that you like say it, definitely.
Now you say it, okay.
Yeah.
So like as a female, as a white female, have you ever experienced any type of racism, or have you ever been talked about because of your race or gender?
I would definitely like for my gender base, I would definitely say that I've noticed that. It's just sometimes people, I guess, will, I don't know, talk down to you, or I notice sometimes when like I'm in like a group of just males, like you'll kind of be more set back and ignored. And usually that is more prevalent with like white males, though, is what I do notice in terms of who does that.
Okay.
Who is the more.
So you say it's white males that does that to you, that kind of sets you down and they speak over you. So you say you hang out with other gentlemen. What other gentlemen is this race composed of, or ethnicity?
I would say like African American and Asian, both of those are like also, and then also Hispanic too. Okay. So I would say like I have 3 different like friend groups, obviously, with comprised of like those cultures, and they definitely don't do it as much as the white males would.
So you would say the white males will put less respect over you considered to other black, Hispanic, and Asian males?
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
You would definitely say so.
Just in general, generalized.
Have you noticed any difference between any other type of race of females?
So what do you mean in terms of
like? Have you noticed that like, so would black males do that to black females, or would Hispanic males do that to Hispanic females, or Asian males do that to Asian females?
As in like talk over them?
Yes.
I would say Probably not that I've noticed. No, I think that those races would more treat others like, or the white females or any type of other female, more equal than I would say white males would, just in general.
Okay. Um, Another question: how do you think the media has portrayed or represented people from your group? Are the portrayals positive or negative, or are they, are they better than like women or men? Like, which one is better? Do you feel like?
So I know that like the women's march recently happened, and just kind of like covering that, there was definitely a broad and like vast opinion spectrum on that. But I would say it's both like negative and positive too, and I think that depends on like the affiliation of the news source.
Okay. So, what role has the media played in helping you, define yourself as a person, in your cultural group? And which cultural group would you consider you a part of?
So, like in terms of like race or income based or like any of those, or
any of those is fine. Yes. So you can do race and then you can do income based.
And what was the? I'm sorry.
What role has the media played in helping you define yourself as part of your cultural group?
Okay.
So as a white female, how has media portrayed you?
I think it kind of ignores like the female perspective, but I guess that's also like a driving force in terms of making yourself want to be more stood out, I guess is what I would say, especially from the female perspective. Would definitely be like wanting to make it just from being more, I guess, not as put on like the spotlight.
Okay.
In terms of like news stories and such.
Okay. So is it any struggles that you think you face today that the media does not address or that they negatively address instead of positively addressing it?
I think just the media in terms, I think there's always like an underlying like sexism and racism still, I would say probably still to this day. I know obviously it's better than in past times, but I think it's still prevalent, and I think it might be a little ignored, I guess, still, and I think it probably should be less taboo and more talked about so that it can be like solved and people like kind of ignore it.
Okay. So are you doing anything right now to solve those issues?
I mean, I guess like working on my career is what I would say would be like the biggest thing, but I guess in terms of like really pushing in the media, maybe not as much. That's probably what I would say.
All right. Well, so you active. So when people actively put stuff on social media, as far as the women's movement, Black Lives Matter, do you ever participate in those movements, or you just kind of scroll by them?
So for social media, I'm not really a big part of, so I don't really like sharing or really like going on it. But I have, like in the past, if I like feel something is really important, like that will point out like racism or something, I have like shared those kind of things.
Okay.
Sparingly though, like not as much as because I really don't go on social media that often.
Okay. So where do you get a lot of your news from as a person today?
I'd really say, because my roommate is actually a political science major, so I'd probably say it's mostly from like word of mouth, and then also talking about like my coworkers. Okay. But really, I'm not like big on news sources and media.
So when you hear like word of mouth of any type of news or anything, where do you go and backtrack it, or like do you go and research and see how valid it is?
I would say sometimes. I bet you I could be better, obviously, at doing it, but just from like a science background, because that's obviously what I'm doing. So we're like taught to like be really skeptical of what we hear.
Okay.
So it's definitely, I think that's really helped in terms of like analyzing information that's out there.
Okay. So being classified as a white female, what advice do you have today for other people that's like in your cultural group in terms of media? Like what should they do with media? How should they what should they do with media, and how should they interpret media?
I would definitely say just be skeptical of like what's out there, and really make sure to like check your sources and make sure they're reputable and all that.
Okay. All right. And so also, do you believe that there needs to be more women seen in the media as far as reporting the media, and also in positive light of media?
I would definitely say so, because I think media focuses more on like the negative aspects of things, and I think that should not be focused as much, and it should be more positive too. But I also think that going into like exemplifying isn't really the word, but showing different sexes and races would definitely be beneficial, just for like kids growing up and individuals as a whole, like being exposed to a broad range of individuals, I think is really beneficial.
All right, cool. So, I think we covered everything today, and that's it, folks.